This is our Unit 11 workshop evaluation. So first we're going to go over what went well during the delivery. Our acting and dance had a clear structure to it, thus it was easy to teach people what we had planned. This comes across because during these sections, people knew exactly what to do as we were getting into it with the acting and dance.
Oh my god. What am I saying that you?
Warm-ups, about the warm-ups.
Why is my mind?
During my acting warm-up, I did a game which I quite like called EastEnders, and it uses accents and it uses big actions to make it seem like you're a character out of EastEnders. This was effective as it gets people into it a little bit, gets people thinking about characters and stuff like that, but I could have done better if I dedicated more time into those aspects. But as we were already a little bit below schedule because we didn't start on time, I didn't want to waste too much time, so I didn't have enough time to do stuff like that. I also led the singing warm-up as I had to take over for Sammy, and I just did ones that I knew at the top of my head that were quite effective. I split us up into groups and made them do different things at different times to get used to that, since during the singing section we did do that when we were singing two different things as it was a harmony.
Why is it? So I led the dance warm-up that helped everyone with cardio and to warm up our bodies. I also did a few stretches that mainly worked out the legs and the arms, as they were the most used in our dance as we only had a short amount of time. This could have went really a lot more better if I planned what song or the music at the start. It would have made everyone more energetic and feel more alive as we were the first people to go.
Overall, what I believe we could have done better during delivery is we had our music set up beforehand, as we were trying to mess about mid-pitch about setting up the music and stuff like that, as we didn't have it up. So we could have set that all up beforehand. I also feel like we could have had a lot more confidence whilst we were pitching, as I feel like some of us were a bit more to themselves and didn't really have the confidence to portray it in a way. Now I'll be going over what went well during the planning and creation period. So, we had a very clear structure of what we were going to do, as we knew all the dance pieces we'd prepared, we knew all the singing pieces, just so we could assist if we needed. Also, the scripts were already known and the scripts were sent to the other people, so if there needed to be any assistance, we could. However, we could have made this a lot better if we consistently practiced the actual pitch, as we didn't, as we felt like if we just did our individual stuff it would go nicely, but it didn't. So I feel like we could have done better with a lot of practicing. Also, I feel like if we had everything planned up and set up before the final pitch, such as lyric sheets and music, or stuff like that, it could have been a lot more smooth, as I feel like that's a big part of it, how it wasn't particularly smooth. It wasn't next thing to next thing to next thing, it was next thing, break, figure out what we're doing, next thing, and carry on, yeah. I feel like I could have shortened down the script I used during the acting segment a lot more, as it was very long and it didn't fully occur to me until people started acting it out, which is my fault, as I should have contemplated how long the script is and how long it would be with people acting within it. So I could have shortened it down and given people shorter segments, and so multiple people could have performed.
Well, I what is wrong with me today? Okay, I feel like based on what happened with the music and it, it kind of like knocked us down a bit. I feel like that was one of the main things that knocked down our confidence at the start. So based on those events that I thought of after our pitch instead of at the pitch, that I could have just done taught a small part of the dance instead of trying to do all of it to pass the time with the music. So I could have just taught a tiny bit of it and then assist everyone whilst we were trying to sort out the music. I didn't think of that until after our pitch, but at least we know what to do next time.
So like problem solving is something that we should improve upon, as there was a lot of problems during our pitch. Overall, how do we feel like it ended up? I personally feel like it was okay, but could have been a lot better if we did have more confidence and worked more as a team rather than individually.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think we worked more as an individual than
Yeah.
a team. It could have, like, especially with the last week of our, like the last week of us practicing, that could have been the week where we practiced all together
Yeah.
and, like, even try to teach other members of our level 3 to practice teaching so we wouldn't be as nervous
Yeah.
in front of everyone else.
I feel also like we a lot of the time didn't have time to all be together and practice, but that's quite simply could have been rectified by find time. We could have put a lot more into it, in my opinion. Now, what I think that others did quite well, which we could potentially take on board what they did in the future and make our pitches or whatever we do in the future a lot better. So I'm going to start off with our house. I feel like this was very engaging, very, very fun. They obviously worked well as a team and had everything set up beforehand. This is all the things we struggled with quite a lot. So I feel like we could take a lot of inspiration from that group.
I think that overall Kinky Boots they did so well there, considering that they were the last group where everyone was like really tired. There was probably one of the most energetic groups that continuously boarded everyone with energy, fun, and it really included everyone. And I think that's one thing that we can improve on is including everyone in, especially with our group. Like, even though we're teaching one part each, everyone's still included.
Yeah.
Like, when we was doing singing, for an example, even though one person was leading it, we still like to assist that person as well. I think that's one thing that we can definitely improve on.
Also for Fame, I believe that it was very engaging in the sense of the acting piece was very, very fun to do, even though it was a little bit silly as we didn't fit the criteria of the characters per se. It was still very, very fun to have a bit of a mess about with it, think about different ways to say things, different ways to act and stuff like that. The dance piece was very, very fun. It had a whole different vibe to like a lot of the other pieces. It was very energetic once again, and I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, so we could think about making our stuff more engaging than practical, I think, as weird as that sounds, because like, yeah, it's good to have, do this, cool, you've learnt to dance. Making it engaging and make it more fun and making people like mess about with how they act and how they speak and stuff like that. That could be very useful for us in future. I think that's about everything that we're going over.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.